All right, welcome back to Nadlin Forum Podcast Daily. I'm Ruby, joined by Lior, and today, it's a spicy topic. Tariffs. They're not just in the headlines, they're turning up in our grocery receipts, in the cost of car repairs, pretty much everywhere. You feeling the sting yet, Lior?
Oh, absolutely, Ruby. You know, when you come from a place with a different economic system, sometimes you get used to these shocks. But here, it's wild. Like, I just looked at my last grocery bill and I swear the coffee alone through the roof. And the data backs it, right? Coffee's up over 20% in a year. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's not just coffee, which is tragic enough if you ask me. If you look at the latest inflation stats, apparel up 0.5%, video and audio stuff up, car parts, groceries, even the boring things like furniture. I only noticed because my mate roped me into helping her buy a new sofa last weekend, right? We're scrolling and suddenly she's like, wait, was this not like $200 cheaper a few months ago? And I'm like, honestly? Yeah, it probably was. The increases sound small individually, but stack them up and you're suddenly dodging the homewares aisle in terror.
But even the tools, like these basic things you just expect to be stable, they're up. And it's not like our paychecks magically ballooned to match any of it. Most people don't realize how carefully households already stretch every cent. So when energy goes up, or car parts, let's say you need a simple fix, you're paying a lot more than last year. Even the Bureau of Labor says the yearly growth for goods now the fastest since, mid-2023. That's big.
I mean, there's this sneaky effect too, right? People hear 0.3% here, 0.6% there, and it doesn't sound like much, but over everything you buy, you totally feel it. It's classic death by 1,000 cuts. All that, and we haven't even gotten to how it's impacting, the bigger picture for families yet.
Yeah, so let's dig into that. It's not just statistics. These price hikes make an actual difference, especially for the middle class. Like, look at Luke Tilley, the economist. He said outright, consumers were not in a really good place to handle the increased prices. Honestly, when you look at the numbers and then talk to people, he's right.
Totally. And even from just talking to mates or honestly eavesdropping at the supermarket.
As you do?
Yep, that's my weekly hobby, just catching those price shock moments. But people are seriously changing what they buy. It's not just pinching pennies, it's like, we'll have beans, but only if they're on sale. Makes you realize how much these little jumps transform daily decisions.
And on my side, there's a lot, especially among the Israeli expat community here in New York. I work with these families and they tell me, groceries are more expensive, yes, but so are utilities. Transportation, just day-to-day survival is more complicated. The wages, not moving. So families, they're skipping going out, cutting streaming services just to cover the essentials. You actually see these shifts in the spending data. Services spending is down because essentials eat the whole budget now.
It's such a squeeze. Maybe this is a tangent, but it kind of reminds me of when we chatted about insurance costs in housing a few episodes ago. The way people shift behaviors, not because they want to, but because the numbers tell them they kind of have to.
Exactly. And what you get is this feedback loop where people spending less can start to slow the economy overall. The more we feel the pinch, the more everyone tightens up. And that's why businesses are starting to really worry too. They're seeing it in this, sales in the statistics. It just spreads. The pressure isn't just on the cash register or the bill, it's everywhere and it compounds.
Let's zoom out a bit, because all these day-to-day struggles add up to a huge headache for the Fed. On the one hand, inflation's still stubborn at almost 3%. On the other hand, job growth is as limp as my houseplants. And the Fed's got, what do we call it, Lior? An impossible job?
No win, scenario. That's what I think. So the central banks got to look at. Do we cut rates to give people relief even if inflation isn't really tamed? Or do we wait even as jobs just aren't picking up? You get this talk about stagflation, high prices, slow growth. Nobody wants that. Markets are betting on a bunch of rate cuts the rest of this year, even as early as next week. That's only because everyone's so worried about growth just not happening.
And for property investors, this is where the real dilemma shows up. I had a call with a young investor yesterday, proper real go-getter, right? She's weighing up buy now because rates might drop soon, or hang back and hope for a bigger rate cut later on. And there's this anxiety because with rates up, the math changes, affordability, cash flow, the lot. But if you wait and rates do fall, competition for properties might spike, and then you're in another mad scramble. No clear answer.
There's also this idea that the tariff-driven inflation maybe isn't forever, right? Like historically, tariffs push up prices for a bit, but then things settle. But with labor markets flat and everyone feeling squeezed, it can drag on and make things worse for longer. For investors, lenders, even first-time buyers, suddenly, timing the market means watching the Fed as much as watching house prices.
Yeah, and I mean, we've said this before in our episode on mortgage rates, but being alert without trying to time every jump is still the best bet, right? Stay nimble, watch the indicators, and just remember, the numbers are real people's lives in the end. We'll keep tracking these twists for you, as always.
It's a lot to juggle, but that's what we're here for. Good luck out there, everyone. Keep your calculators and coffee close.
All right, Lior, thanks for sharing your wisdom as always. And thank you all for joining us. Don't worry, we'll be back soon with more on what's shifting next in the markets. Take care, Lior.
Thanks, Ruby. Talk soon. Bye, everyone.